It's so funny because every time I try to make these YouTube videos, like because I use my camera 24/7 because this is my job as a filmmaker, my YouTube framing is always off, and I wonder if you guys can tell. There's a chance that you guys can tell because, again, the leveling of my shots are always kind of different. But anyways, I try to keep it consistent, and I even kept my magic arm on my rig so that my framing is the same. But anyways, that's a whole different video. But anyways, in this video, I just want to talk about something that's super kind of cringy and funny, if you would say it. So, as you guys know, every time Apple releases their new iPhone Pros, especially with the 15 Pros and the 16 Pros, you know that they shoot Apple ProRes. And if you shot on the iPhone 15 Pro and the 16 Pro, you know that it's an amazing camera. Like, without a doubt, for a smartphone, it's a really good camera. The problem is, when Apple promotes these iPhones, they say it's shot on iPhone, but then they use like $1 million of worth of equipment to support it. And that's where I really feel the cringe. Like, shot on iPhones are actually honestly cringe. The whole idea of filming on an iPhone 15 Pro or 16 Pro and being able to shoot Apple ProRes log, the whole point of that is to keep your setup minimal and to capture really good high res, super good dynamic range video in the palm of your pocket, right? So places where you can't necessarily take FX30 or FX3 or whatever camera it is, the whole idea of shooting on an iPhone is so that you can take it out of your pocket and capture really good looking footage straight up out of the camera. So when you take a bunch of cinema glass and this cage to rig out your iPhone 15 Pro and your 16 Pro, like that just beats the whole purpose of filming on an iPhone. And to say that it's shot on an iPhone, you can't really say that because you're using like a $50,000 cinema zoom lens and you're using like airy sky panels, so like it just makes no sense. Like financially, to make that decision, it's kind of dumb and cringy, right? Like, if you have a budget for a $50,000 lens, like if you have a budget to rent that lens out, then might as well just swap the body for like a red Komodo or even like the FX3, right? Like, the reason why the film, the creator, did so well in the box office and the cinematic visual in general is because they exactly knew the FX3 was the camera that works for the film, right? And if you see the behind the scenes of the creator, you know that they used the Octopus RS2 rig with the FX3. And because the FX3 does ISO 12800, they really stuck to the idea of minimal filmmaking, the guerrilla filmmaking, right? They had a single Aputure LED light panel. They had 2 people doing audio, right? So like the whole entire crew and the rig was very minimal. And that's the whole point of filming on the iPhone, in my opinion, is keeping it simple and low key so that you can capture great looking footage, but it's still coming out of your phone, right? Like, you can still capture great footage without having to use a crazy setup like this. So when you slap a $50,000 lens and you're using a jib and you're having like a focus puller and all of that stuff, then at that point just use a cinema camera. Like, it just makes no sense to attach all of these things to an iPhone and call it shot on iPhone, because the iPhone probably did like 10% of the work. Probably like 90% of the stuff is just accessories and lighting that really told the story of the Weeknd's music video and this 28 days after film that's coming out in the future. Hopefully this video does not stir any drama towards the filmmaking community. I really just wanted to make this video as like a conversation starter, right? I wanted to make this video so that we can have a fair point of view conversation in the comments. So yeah, so I just wanted to make this video because I feel like shot on iPhones is just completely Cringe, and like the whole idea of using an iPhone is to be minimal and to be like a documentary filmmaker, right? To be minimal, but have the ability to capture whatever is needed for that time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you took away something from this video. Hopefully you're using the gear the correct way, the way it's supposed to be used. Not every gear is made the same, and you need to realize that. iPhone is made to be used as an iPhone. So if you want that behind the scenes and you want the iPhone look, just use the iPhone. Don't use 1,000 other attachments to make it a cinema camera, because at that point you have cameras like FX3, FX30, Lumix S5, and you have these 1,000 other cinema cameras that make the result. So yep, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.